Hey, my mighty pals! Have you ever had some inspiration just fly out of your head? You got a content block and you're just not sure where your next idea in marketing is coming from. That you're not sure what you're going to be doing a Facebook Live about. You're not sure what you're going to be writing that next email about. You're not sure where your next blog post is coming from because you just feel stuck. Let's talk today with Mighty Marketing Mojo. I'm Jennifer about marketing inspiration and where we can get some extra ideas to help us be unstuck and to be moving forward. And so, for example, the idea that I came up with today was I sent an email to my Mighty Marketing Mojo community and I shared with them two blog posts that two friends, solopreneurs, had written, Marie Silvo and Luana Rodham. And I have several other business owner pals who had taken the same idea, and I thought you could use that same inspiration too. And one of the posts, Maria literally wrote about creativity tips, and she talked to 16 other fantastic women business entrepreneurs and got them to share creativity tips. And I shared one about literally changing our perspective. That when I go out and I'm taking photographs, it's a hobby, it's been a long time hobby, that I remember something I think it was actually my dad who gave me the tip. Look up, look down. We're so focused on looking straight ahead that we can miss a lot. And I remember a photo that I think we may have each taken one in St. Louis as a kid of the St. Louis Arch from the bottom of the arch looking up and the curve of the architecture. I have other friends who are into nature and nature photography, and they're all constantly looking down at the ground, seeing the little things and what that can inspire us to do. So that's one thing. When we're getting stuck in our marketing, change our perspective. Put on the perspective of one of our customers. See if we can't literally walk in their shoes. Or it may mean changing your desk and where you are and where you're recording from, where you're writing from. It's a little bit harder in 2020 for us to physically move where we work, but it's still possible. You can move to the couch. You can move to the dining room table. Maybe you sit in the hallway upstairs because it's giving you a different perspective. Whatever helps change the routine for you and breaks things apart. But the idea that was so we were giving these tips, and I gave that tip into Maria and her blog post. And that was one of the inspirations that I shared in my email was to do a collaborative blog post. When in doubt, look to others. So that was tip number two. One, changing your perspective. Two is literally looking to others. What are the others in your field and niche doing? What are they talking about? Who else could you potentially partner up with? Because that takes the load off of several of us. I had good content to share with you folks in my email list today because I sent you to two really good blog posts that were collaborative and I thought they were beneficial and and helpful to you. And yes, I happen to have a tip in one of them. The other I don't. It's not a matter. It's good information. And I'm sharing it with you. So are there ways you can partner up? Are there ways you can find inspiration from others? Three, swipe files. I have tags in my Gmail that are color coded and they're labeled, and I've got one that says swipe file example. So when I get an email, I'm like, ooh, I like the way they worded that. Oh, I like that the fact that they used a story here. Oh, I liked an example. I liked their subject line. I'll stick the swipe file example on it, and when I get stuck, I'm going to go look at that for inspiration. I have other swipe files that I've downloaded and they're saved in a swipe file folder on my hard drive. And I'll go take a look at that. And I'll like say, who do I have? Whose ideas have I kept over the years about I liked how they talked about something? How can I take and put my own spin on that? The other thing, so the fourth tip is to know that creativity and ideas can actually be part of a habit, part of a process. And I'll get to that in a second. The other one is that experiences lead to ideas. See, we think and wonder like ideas, where do they come from? Well, from our imagination, or well, I was sitting and I was musing, or I was meditating. All of those may very well be accurate and ways that ideas can come about. But, that's not quite digging into it. It's like, if your kid came up to you and asked you where your babies come from, you're like, from love, because you wanted to dodge that question. You didn't want to get into the details of where babies come from. Okay, so you dodged it a little bit. Love is true and accurate, but it's not the technical bit. It doesn't get down into it. And maybe you didn't want to go there. But see, so where's the technical bit of where do ideas come from? Our head, inspiration, ideas, taking a walk, meditation, all true. Dig deeper. Experience. Ideas are coming from experiences we've had. Ideas are from stories, things that have happened to us, things that we saw, that we read, that we ate, that we touched, that had some sort of emotion to it. And then we can tap into that and find great ideas. It was one of the best parts of a course that I took recently on email and how to sell through email and to do it with more authenticity and less pushiness. And one of the biggest tips was through stories, that we're finding a quick short story that is true, that is authentic to us, but it ties in and connects to that next step that we want somebody to take with us in business. The same can be true in sharing stories in your videos at the beginning of your blog posts that introduce and move people along and hook them so they want to learn more. So keep those ideas for those stories. But stories, ideas, and experiences don't just spring up out of nowhere. They have seeds. They grow, and we need light to show on them, and we need to nurture those ideas. And so one of the things that helps us is to literally have a process, have habits, have it be part of your routine for 15 minutes, 30 minutes every day. I say there's a lot we can do in terms of marketing for our business in just 30 minutes a day. Find a time that's good for you. And some people like to write in the mornings, in the whole morning pages routine. There's other research that says, hey, actually write when you're tired, because then your brain literally can't get in your way. Your brain is too tired, so it can't put roadblocks up. So you just free associate and you just write. Do that for 15 minutes. Write a story down. Write down a time, a word, maybe playground, summer camp, first job, things that are going to spark memories, things that are going to spark something, and you're just writing. And you're writing an idea, you're writing a story, and you're wondering, where can I go from this? I was talking about happiness with someone today, a coach, and we're like trying to increase more happiness, and that is at the core of what she's coaching on. I'm like, okay, dig deeper. What does that mean? What does that look like? Give it a time frame. So, for example, we're coming up onto the end of the year and it's holiday season, and this year is wilder and weirder than any other. And what if you were writing on 5 ways to be happier when you're not all going to be together with your family for the holidays? Or 5 ways to beat the stress of the holidays when the year is weirder than ever before. Okay, now I'm concrete. Now I'm like, okay, good. Let me know that it's this particular time of year. It's for the holidays. It's about family. Get specific for me. So sometimes we don't have ideas because we're trying to think too broadly. We're trying to think too big in terms of creating our offers and our blog posts and our lead magnets. Think about the small little seeds. Lots of seeds, lots of flowers make a bouquet. I'm just going for it here. One flower at a time. Start with one flower at a time and then add in some of the others. Then you can add in additional stories. You can add in additional experiences. You can see how things branch out and you can make those connections between your ideas. So there's a couple of tips for when your brain is getting blocked. But I'd love it if you dropped in a comment. If you're watching this live, if you're watching this in the replay, let me know, 3 things that leave you blocked. Like when you have a content block, you're like, oh, I just can't. This is the 3 areas where you just feel blocked. So, for example, I know one of them. One friend might say, I'm stuck on my lead magnet. I'm stuck on the free gift, and I can't seem to narrow it down. And, for me, it might be blog posts. I'm like, oh, because I have a tendency to write the mega mother load of blog posts, and I think they have to be these huge, humongous things, and so I don't even get started. So, what can I do? What three things can I do to get going again? How can I change my perspective? How could I potentially look to others? Can I go check my swipe files? And then can I go work on that content block? I'd love to know what you use for inspiration, what helps you get unstuck when you are creating the content in your business. I'd love to know if it works for you to change your perspective, if you've worked with others lately in collaboration, guest posts, collaborative posts, a roundup. I had folks on my Facebook Live series. That was a great way when I wasn't sure what the next Facebook Live was going to be. Love that. We'll do that again. Gonna go check my swipe file because I want to write a blog post that leads into some things that are coming up that I'm going to have offers for. And if I'm not sure where I'm going to start, I'm going to go check my swipe files. So let me know where you've either gotten blocked and a tip you'd love to share with other business owners of how you get unblocked and find your creative inspiration to keep your content and marketing flowing again in your business. Hopefully, this has unleashed the dams. You're unstuck a little bit. Go use those tips today to go create mighty content and even mightier marketing. See you again soon.